Most people think motivation is a magical force. You either have it or you don't. But what if I told you that's completely false? Motivation isn't something you wait for, it's something you train your brain to create. In this video, I'll show you how to rewire your mind for unstoppable motivation, so you can finally stop procrastinating and take control of your life. Let's dive in. Motivation is driven by dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. But here's the catch. Dopamine doesn't just release when you achieve something big. It's triggered by progress, not just success. When you train your brain to recognize small wins, you create a constant motivation, and the best part, you can hack your brain's dopamine system to stay driven every single day. Your brain loves comfort. It avoids change because change feels uncertain, even if it leads to success. That's why starting is always the hardest part. Your mind resists because it fears failure. But here's the good news. Your brain is rewirable. It's like a muscle that grows stronger with the right habits. If you train it, motivation will become second nature. Your brain has a 5-second window before it talks you out of action. When an idea sparks, count down from 5 and act immediately. This interrupts hesitation and forces your brain to build momentum. This small trick rewires your mind to respond with action instead of doubt. Try it right now. Think of something you've been delaying. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take the first step. Most people lose motivation because they chase big, overwhelming goals. Instead, break them into micro goals. Completing tiny tasks triggers dopamine, fueling a motivation loop. If you want to exercise, don't aim for an hour, just do 1 push-up. If you want to write a book, just write 1 sentence. Once you start, your brain will crave more progress. Your actions come from your identity. If you see yourself as lazy, your brain will find ways to prove it true. But if you shift your identity, start saying, I am a disciplined person, your brain will align with that belief. Every action you take reinforces your identity. Want to stay motivated? Act as if you're already the person you want to become. Your brain is wired to respond to cues. If your phone is next to you, it triggers scrolling. If junk food is in sight, you eat it. But if your workout clothes are visible, you're more likely to exercise. The key, rewire your environment to support your goals. Remove distractions and place visual cues that push you toward action. Your surroundings control your motivation more than you realize. We've rewired our brains to crave instant dopamine, social media, junk food, binge watching. These give fast pleasure but kill long-term motivation. To reset your brain, try a dopamine detox. Spend a day away from distractions and focus on deep work, exercise, or learning. You'll notice your motivation surging because your brain starts craving real progress instead of quick fixes. If you don't feel like doing something, commit to just 3 minutes. Your brain hates starting, but once you begin, you'll want to keep going. This works because of Newton's first law. An object in motion stays in motion. Tell yourself, I'll just do this for 3 minutes, and watch how your motivation builds naturally. Action fuels motivation, not the other way around. The biggest lie is that motivation is something you're born with. It's not. It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. Take small steps, trick your brain into action and shape your environment to support your goals. Stop waiting for motivation. Create it. Your brain is powerful, and once you rewire it, nothing can stop you. Now go take action.